What's going on, guys? Welcome back to In the World Not of It podcast. I'm Siddons.
I'm like,
I'm Lincoln, and today I'm going to shout out. Yeah, I was about to burp.
Shout out.
I'm shouting out presidents because I realize it's President's Day today. Who? Shout out. I don't remember. Yeah. Shout out presidents. Shout out Bad Bunny.
Why are we shutting out Bad Bunny?
Well, he's the Super Bowl halftime. We've not seen y'all in a month because we're lazy and hate everybody.
yeah.
And that's why we've not filmed. Oh, also shout out to my grandma because it was her birthday last Friday. Happy birthday to
Shout
her.
out Thirsty Bartender.
Yeah, shout out to me.
That's a horse.
Follow me
Anyway,
on
welcome back.
chess.com.
This is our 51st episode. So we're officially on
Yes.
halfway to over halfway to 100.
Woo!
If we stay on the pace we're on now, we'll never hit it. So today
He's not lying.
today I don't really know.
That's kinda real.
Like this episode we're kind of just going to freestyle, and if we like what we're saying, we're going to keep saying stuff. So those are fun episodes. Hopefully it's not chaos. But before we get started with that, I want to go ahead and shout out our sponsors, not our sponsors, our socials. Sorry, I don't know where sponsors came from.
We don't have any of those.
Yeah. Shout out to, not shout out. Sorry, I just woke up from a nap. I'm kind of fuzzy-minded.
He was 30 minutes late.
True. Anyway, our socials are on everywhere you can find a podcast except SoundCloud.
And chess.com.
Chess.com. Follow Lane on chess.com at Lane.
Not on SoundCloud.
Anyway, so
That'd be such a tough use.
I guess we can just get started with saying something.
Go with it.
That's how most things get started on a podcast.
Yeah, I agree. This is so hard.
3, 2, 1, go.
I need a Red Bull.
Okay.
Wakey.
I'm not awake.
He doesn't like
Then you're
eggs or
asleep.
bakey.
What is consciousness?
Question time.
What is consciousness?
Do we deserve consciousness?
What are atoms? What are atoms?
That's what
What a question.
Toby kept asking. The other night we were just hanging out.
Who's Toby?
Our youth pastor.
Who's Toby?
Toby.
Anyway, so first off, what I want to talk about is
Everything he would just go back to asking, what's an atom?
what is an atom? What is consciousness?
Consciousness is I think, therefore I am. It's the ability to realize that you exist.
But it's
All
made
right,
of
buddy.
atoms.
Is consciousness
atoms?
really made of atoms?
It's made of atoms. I'm made of atoms. What's different between me and
That chair doesn't know that it exists. That chair has no feelings. It has no soul.
atoms give it consciousness.
They don't.
A soul.
What's a soul?
I don't
made of?
freaking know, and y'all are going way too deep.
Anyway,
That's like what he would,
Ask
So-
the
that's like what
question.
he would ask.
I don't like that.
I guess I'm going to start with what I brought up in the original thing that I texted a month ago now,
Okay.
where we talk about just our growth in faith. Basically, I guess where I can start, and then maybe we can just go on from there.
Okay.
I would say, I'm not going to say did we, because I'm pretty sure we did. We all grew up in church, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I've thought about due to Goose of Discontent is how geography shapes. Also, don't follow him. He's a waste of time. But he claims that geography and based off where you grow up and your the places where you spend most of your childhood. Like, I grew up in the same church I go to now. Pretty sure y'all have done the same. Do you think that in a way that he's right? Because if you were born, right, in...
Yeah, no, I feel like geography does play a giant role in, because like if you're born like in the slums of India, what are the, like in the middle, like where Hinduism is like at an all-time peak, they just like reject every other religion. They don't even talk about it. Like, it's not fair compared to someone who's born in a small southern town.
Well, then we got to think, like, God's just not even... Then there's not even really a change for that person, right?
No, there is.
If you say that they are born into something where they don't even think about other religion, do y'all think they ever...
There's a chance for everybody.
Yeah, there's a chance for everyone. At some point in his or her life, they will have a chance to hear about the gospel, and if that is their choice, they
Do you
take it.
feel like certain people get more chances than others? I guess
Yes,
you could say.
yes, 100%.
What if
But everyone gets like the chance. There's always like one big chance you get.
have y'all ever met somebody that either doesn't believe in anything or was completely lost, doesn't think about that, and y'all have tried to convince them to?
I know an atheist.
I remember.
How does that go? Let's start with that. If you talk with somebody that's not religious at all, doesn't really, I would say doesn't believe anything, but doesn't know what to believe.
Insufferable.
What do you?
That's all I gotta say.
What do you? Realistically, what do you start off by saying if y'all are in that?
Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna give you some tips that Toby gave us. Don't ever get into an argument with an atheist because you'll never win.
Not an argument.
Or a discussion. Anyway, if it's anything over if God is real, you'll never win. It's because they can always go back to why would he do that? Is it really true? Like how do you know this? They can bring up all these points. And they're like, "Oh, you can't prove faith and whatnot." But like,
well, I feel like it's kind of logical for them to not want to believe in something that in their eyes allows something. So how would you, or because they're going to think about the negative aspect. They don't want to, you wouldn't want to sit there and then, if you don't agree, if you don't like a player, you're not going to give him his flowers about stuff that he's done good.
yeah.
Like Chris Paul retired. I never really was
Could've
a
missed
fan of
watching
Chris
him.
Paul. He was a good player. I know he's good, but like,
I miss watching it.
you know, but how they're going to sit there and they're going to attack you with, okay, so if this is an all-knowing, all-perfect God, like he knows everything, he's done everything, and yet this has happened. How are you possibly going to explain to them to the point where it just makes even a little bit of sense in their head? Because like, what if they've lost somebody, a loved one,
Yeah.
or this has happened in their life, and they're like,
There's
you're telling
always-
me a perfect, loving God loved me so much that he took this person away? Like, that's not going to make sense to them.
You have to tell the
And like
person.
you said, it's going to be hard
Yeah.
to justify that for them.
They don't know the full story. God knows everything. He knows what's going to happen. He knows what has happened. We do too, but that was just, I didn't know what else to say there. That's kind of a filler line. But just ignore
Just
that.
say,
But there's a greater plan. And you don't know what that plan is at that point because it's long down the road. You can't see it. You can't see like 10 feet in front of you. But he knows until the end of the road. So like,
He gave us free will at the beginning of time, and once we chose something different from him, it just led to destruction and chaos and all these bad things. And I mean, that's why all these bad things continue to happen today, because we constantly choose something that isn't God. And every time we choose that, it's just going to lead to destruction and death and pain and nothing beneficial.
self-destruction.
so I feel like it's fair to say when it comes to the evil that happens in this world, I feel like it's more just established through our own desires, our wants.
Yeah.
I feel like what destroys a lot of people today is money and the greed for power. Greed in general is a big thing, I feel like, because everybody wants everything. You know, you're not, nobody sits around and is like, yeah, I'm just so glad I have nothing. Nobody's going to be like, yeah, I want to have nothing.
Greed and I feel like lust.
Greed and lust, I agree.
Sex destroys a lot of
And the urge to fit in.
The urge to fit in, we can talk about
To be
that too.
recognized as a part of a social
What,
being,
when it comes to fitting
social
in,
entity.
what do you think? Why is that so much more satisfying? Finding the right group, the right hobbies, the right things you like, to where it's just something that, yeah, I think I belong here, you know? Because we've seen it before where people
a
that
lot of
fit
times-
in with the wrong crowd, and then
Yeah.
they just go down a horrible path.
Yeah, a lot of people, when they fit into crowds like that, end up like molding themselves to fit into that rather than just falling into it naturally. And I feel like if you fall into a crowd naturally that you truly like, it's honestly harder to stay a part of that crowd than one that you want to. Because a lot of times, the ones you want to aren't necessarily the greatest thing for you.
I've seen a lot more people want to fit in with somebody, and it turns out hurting them more than helping them, just because they might be more popular or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that obviously goes with just our age, because we are in high school. But fitting in is not it usually doesn't work out. If that I mean, I've seen it to where, okay, these people find their friends, but if you strive to just, I feel like fitting in with, like, you want to fit in with somebody is you just wanting to be like them. In a way, I feel like that's almost just jealous, and you think
sort
if
of
you get there-
idolatry.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about idolatry last episode, right?
I think so. That was like a month ago.
Idolatry is dangerous. We've not filmed in a while, so we're sorry about that.
we're rusty.
But one thing that
Can,
also,
but
when it comes to
rain.
fitting in and just worried about the social politics of just doing anything, being with the
The
crowd,
social politics.
I guess. I don't know the word for it.
Big word.
Not,
Not really.
Vocabulary.
I don't know.
Well, for
The social politics of a small high school.
It's ridiculous. We've talked about
It
it. Like,
is ridiculous.
people will do
People
such
will
crazy
base
stuff.
their whole personalities around trying to fit in with one crowd, and it's absurd. It makes no sense to me. You're going to change the person you were a year ago to this awful, like, because some of the transformations I've seen over the past year are just unbelievable. I mean, we all change. Change is a part of our life, especially teenage years. But going from like that to this, like, it's just, I don't believe it. And it's just to hang out with one crowd, to fit in with one crowd.
Yeah. Now, I will say there is good change.
Yes, there is.
You know, I kind of think of it when it comes to like worldly stuff, where people that change just find a substitute for something that they actually want. So like the want to fit in, if you can change and become religious, I feel like that's the want to fit in with God's community. I mean, if you've watched Dexter, he says we are what we are, but that seems weird. I for a while, and sometimes it's still hard to not think like that, where it's like we are who we are. I mean, that's just, everybody's different. I mean, you work anywhere, you go to school anywhere, everybody's different.
Yes.
People are either they either like this or they like the other thing. It's, you understand what I'm saying. But there are some people like where I've seen somebody change from being a really bad, like they are just not doing great things, or they're struggling every day, and then they can flip that around. Not necessarily with religion either. You can change like the way you do stuff, your words, how you acknowledge people. And it can also be where it's like this person used to be really shy and now they want to talk to someone. Now they will greet somebody if they see them. That's a big change too. That's like little steps. That's another thing too when it comes to getting out of your comfort zone. This isn't really related at all to what I was saying. But there are battles that people struggle with every day where it's like, whether it's getting over an anxiety or getting over maybe a person. You can get over a person, maybe a habit, maybe an addiction. An addiction is an addiction. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, pornography, people can be addicted to all sorts of
Social
things.
media.
Social media, status. You can be addicted to a lot of stuff. But there's little wins in people's lives, and I feel like people can be having these great days where, they're doing good, and then obviously there's those bad days. And I feel like if you go around, there's no reason to see somebody and just not treat them with, respect and kindness. You never know what people are battling with. And if people are having a great day, why not let it continue to be a great day? If people are having a bad day, there's no reason to knock them down even more. There's not enough time. There's no reason for it. Kindness is a big thing because there's been so many people, I feel like, who can tell you where they said something they regretted and they never knew how to make up for it. I know I've had things that I've done where I wish I could have changed what I said. I wish I could have done something different, and that's just an opportunity missed. There's so many things. Sometimes you can even have guilt over stuff you never even did. Like, what I wish I would have said to this person. What I wish I would have done here. And it just sticks with you. There's so many little things that stick with you where the main thing that can help that is just being there for someone. Being kind to someone. I mean, they don't even have to deserve it. I mean, they could be one of the worst people you've ever met, but they still deserve your loving kindness. That's what God would want us to do. That's how you show God. If you don't know how to use your words, you can show with your actions. That's what I think I've learned the most when it comes to just treating people differently. I don't know. I used to struggle with that. I didn't really know how I wasn't vocal for a while. I am now, thank the Lord, because if I wasn't, I can't guarantee I'd be who I am now. But if you can take those small steps with just showing people respect and being kind, you'll see not only a change in their lives, but a change in yours. Not in the wrong direction either, the right direction. So that's another thing that I wanted to clear up. Do y'all have anything?
I was just gonna say it doesn't hurt anybody to be kind or just be a warm spirit to other people, because God's kingdom isn't going to be built by you thinking about wanting somebody to become a better Christian. It comes with showing them what Christ is and how to live like that each and every day. And it also comes with you figuring out how to use your voice. I know I'm somebody that doesn't really like confrontation or speaking really in front of big groups. But every Friday in FCA, I go up there and do the announcements to try and just push myself to do a little better about that, because when I get in front of a crowd, it's just like I've lost everything that was in my head that I was wanting to say. And so I just try, and that's the way that I try and push myself. So find ways to push yourself so that you can have more outlets of spreading God's word, if that makes sense.
I agree. And you can have things that you do that teach you that stuff. For instance, like football, I felt like required me due to my coach. And sometimes I look back and I think I can only think about all the pressure he's put on me, how now I feel like I'm obligated to do certain stuff. But then also I can think about how he's helped me push me out of my comfort zone. And I guess that leads into another thing where I was going to talk about is being self-conscious about yourself. You can be self-conscious about how you think, even though people can't see your thoughts. You can be self-conscious about how you look. I know I am. There's plenty of days where, no matter what I put on, I feel like it just doesn't look good, or a picture, I hate it. It's like, even now, and I've brought this up maybe to one of y'all, where like the pictures on the podcast, sometimes I won't want to post a picture simply because I just don't like the way I look in it. It can be that deep. Like, if you go back and look at our Instagram posts, I don't make a very big appearance in the first few that we started posting because I just didn't like it. And even now, even today, whether I'm fixing my hair or putting on a different thing, wearing baggier clothes to maybe cover up what I look like, that's a big part. A lot of people can be self-conscious about who they are, and it's usually about how they look. Whether you're big or you're skinny, maybe you just don't like a feature. Like, it can be anything, but also just self-conscious about how you do things. If it takes somebody one time, if you like make fun of them or call out something they do, somebody can go from really enjoying what they're doing to dreading it all the time. I remember a certain lift one time in like 8th grade we were doing where I stopped wanting to do it simply because the coach that we had back then made fun of how I did it, and I hated doing it ever since. I couldn't get that out of my head. Like, that sticks with you. So, like, going back to just being kind, stuff like that can stick with someone. Your first interaction, I never realized how big first interactions with people were until I started working at the pharmacy I work at now. Because there's people that come by where it's like, I remember the first time I ever helped them, and in my eyes, they're just another rude customer. And there's no reason, I'm not going to try and treat them bad, but no matter how nice they are, I'll never forget, like, this one lady saying I had no clue what I was doing. I was on my second week. Like, there was no reason to be like that. And people remember that. If you are a nice person, but you do what in your eyes is just a minor action that you don't think anything of it, that can replay in somebody's head forever. Words, actions, anything. Like, I'm sure y'all can think of a time in your life where this person said one thing, and for them it wasn't anything, but that sticks with you, like, all the time. Because I know I can. And then, I know I'm just kind of bouncing around to different topics. One thing that I never got to talk about on the podcast was narratives. How powerful those are. Lane, do you know what a narrative is?
Yes.
Have you ever, without me talking about a certain narrative, have you seen like a narrative that's hurt somebody in their persona and how people see them or treat them? So like narrative in like sports term, let's go with that because I watch sports. You can start saying a player can be really good, but if one person frowns upon what they do,
Cam Newton Take Cam Newton. Cam Newton. So I guess Cam Newton, for example.
Okay.
Cam Newton and literally any New England Patriots player.
Like what? Give me the.
Cam Newton saying after the Super Bowl that Drake May was overrated after having a great year, one bad thing, and he just pushed that agenda, and it just like started a whole thing.
You can even go with Will Campbell.
Yeah, Will Campbell. That's a great rush from it. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get it.
One bad game, but since it's in the game everybody in the world was watching,
Yeah.
people now aren't even gonna.
They don't look at the full story.
So like in basketball, this could also come from being biased, but Shea, people always spread the narrative that he just gets free throws. You know, he just foul baits and he tries to get free throws. If you look at the stats, dude, it's not even. I mean, sure he has that skill, but people will act like that's the only thing that he ever does, and that's the only reason he's seen as good. So like, it can be anything. We saw narratives in our own town where people are now frowned upon because of something that they might not necessarily did, but people wanted to say it because whether it'd be funny or they'd like it. Narratives are insane. Like, and it takes one person. It takes one person to start any sort of story. It can be whatever you want. If I just said her, like, oh yeah, Lane ran over a dog.
I did that.
And I said that once. That could, you can take that wherever you want. Sean Oakman had his entire career ruined because one woman said that he sexually assaulted her. He never did anything, and he lost his entire career. His coach got fired, and he never did anything. So, like, the next time, this is mostly just with schools, I guess. The next time you want to say something and it not true, whether it's a joke or not, think about how much that can affect one person. There is people right now that I'm thinking of where they never did anything, and obviously now it can be a joke. Other times it can be really serious, where this person is now frowned upon or somebody doesn't like them because they did something and they never even necessarily had to do it. I hope y'all get what I'm saying.
I'm catching your flow.
Y'all have anything to say? I've just been ranting this entire time. I don't really have verses either. This is me just addressing stuff that I've thought about.
You're doing a good job.
Well, I appreciate that. Other thing that I want to rant about is don't come to the pharmacy 10 minutes before close. I'm just kidding. You can do what you want. I can't really.
I'm going to come in and start complaining.
He will
And
complain anyway.
I'm going to go in and go to the back and start
Come sit
squeaking
down
those
and
rubber
eat 10 minutes
chickens.
before we close.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to go in and start squeaking those rubber chickens.
Hey, let's treat anybody in any sort of establishment,
That's
whether it
so
be
real.
restaurant or stores,
That's so
treat them
real.
nicely, dude.
Wait, I don't get how people like get this is so off topic, but when people like get their order and it has like they didn't ask for mustard, it's got like mustard on it or something, unintentional joke there, but I'm not gonna take it back to the workers back there and complain to them. I'm just gonna sit there and take it and eat it. I genuinely don't care. I know they have a hard job. They didn't mean to do that.
There's just no reason. I think this episode can just be what being kind,
Or like
not
if
being.
you get food wrong and then you get the food's brought to you by somebody who's not your server and then you act like they're stupid. for
People
not-
need common sense.
No, I'm
What
just
happened
saying
to
it because
common sense?
people do that to me.
One of the
Is they'll act like I'm stupid because
No,
I
no.
got their order wrong.
No bueno, no bueno.
One of the funniest things to me is like I won't be able to hear somebody over the phone. I'll go, I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
That's the worst.
And then they'll
That's the
act
worst.
like I'm just learning the English language. They'll be like, Smith, Smith. I just want to be like, correct. That's your word for the day.
if it's
no.
like if it's like an older
know what
person
Smith
though, then
is.
they're being sincere. Just
Yeah, I know they are, but like somebody goes, oh my gosh, Smith. I'm like, dude, I was just asking. Anyway,
No, I
that's
hate
just
it.
me ranting about something that
the only people you can be mean to at fast food establishments are the Subway workers because
Whoa.
listen, I'm gonna tell you why here. I'm dissing on Subway.
You're not dissing on
I'm
Subway
like
on the
I'm
podcast.
like really shy person. So anytime I go in to order anything, like there in the Subway drive-thru's really bad outside your. Yeah, anytime I do anything like that, I have to pre-plan what I'm gonna say in my head, and I say it all out, and then it comes out too fast. And like, what? I'm just like,
Oh no.
like I went in there the other day and I was gonna get like a pizza sub,
Yeah,
and then they didn't hear what I said, so I just got a cookie and left.
dude, that's so valid though.
Yes,
Dude, just use the app.
like 'cause I was like, can I
Just
get a
use the
pizza? Can I get a pizza sub, Italian bread, toasted, with Parmesan on a plate. He's like, what? I'm like, I just want a cookie. I wasn't gonna do all that.
I can't believe that.
They're Italian bread, and then they're like, what? And then he's like, can I get a cookie?
Yeah,
What cookie did you get?
chocolate chip.
Okay.
It's the only one they had. And I was gonna get that.
Anyway, I guess the last
I
thing.
guess the main message is be kind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even if they
especially-
are Subway workers are nice whenever I talk to them.
If
Yeah,
I-
this
if I were to work
podcast
at
is really
Subway-
just me ranting about stuff that I've thought about over the past month and finally getting to say it where multiple people will hear it because I think we all just kind of want to be heard sometimes. I don't think I have much else. Thirsty bartender. Oh, by the way, that's
A horse.
Sins' horse, so don't think we're talking about something crazy.
Follow Lane's Steak on chess.com.
I think that's about it. I'm sorry for sitting here and ranting, but I'm glad y'all listened. I don't have much else.
Jesus lives. Jesus is not dead.
Yeah, I gotta say some. We gotta say something about Jesus.
He's a savior. He's a redeemer, and you're still a sinner.
Mm.
Get right with God before it's too late. You're either going to heaven or hell. There's only two choices, up or down. It's up to you. If you would like to be saved by Jesus, you must pray to him and ask him for forgiveness and ask him to save you. And amen.
You think lukewarm people just think they're gonna stay on Earth when everything's all said and done?
Real.
Well,
Oh,
we
what?
are
I'm
going to stay on
lukewarm.
Earth.
No. They're just gonna get their own planet. Hey, John,
That's what Mormons do.
Mormon, yeah.
Unless you're
no.
a woman.
No.
Women don't get their own planet.
Mormons don't get their own planet. They get to be the god of their own planet. They think that God.
Women get their husband's planets.
Whoa.
Yeah, they think that's why there's so many, and that's why they think God. They think that God used to be someone. It's literally the Mormon religion is like an XP system. Like you can there's
Okay, we're done with this episode. I'm glad
Shout out
y'all
Mormonism.
I
listened.
remember the verse.
Sorry, it's not very religious today. It's more just a rant. I'm sure y'all get it. We're not filming in a month. Give us a break.
The love of Jesus Christ be with
We got a
you.
lot of stuff to do.
Yeah.
We're doing schoolwork. We're doing farm. We're doing FBLA. We're doing basketball. We're doing work. Lane needs a job.
for real.
OB.
My advice for today, if I had to tell one person, my younger version,
kind.
this one thing, I would say, I mean, I'm talking to like 6, 7-year-old me. I'm gonna tell him, buy every Westbrook jersey.
If I had to.
Oh, Valentine's Day! We missed Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. The
Can
Lord
y'all be
Jesus
my
Christ be with you. I love
Valentine?
you with you all in Christ Jesus. Amen.